here today.
Well, how do you feel about this Arkansas team coming off your win last night and getting ready for another big SEC team?
Well, we're glad to have won the first game. We knew that game yesterday against Florida was going to be really difficult, and we were able to have that big 5-run fifth, and we hung on to win. This Arkansas team is playing their best baseball of the year with Stanek on the mound against us, Lamar, a guy that probably be in the first 10 or 12 picks next year in the Major League Draft. So, once again, our work's cut out for us with a guy on the mound that is dominating as Stanek is.
A lot of runs in your series out there for both teams. Will we see a lot of runs in this game tomorrow night?
Well, you wouldn't think so. But, I didn't think we'd see very many when we went to Arkansas either. So sometimes just what you think in baseball goes the other way. But you would think in this park that, the score would be a little bit low scoring.
Grayson said he was feeling okay today. Have you made any thoughts on what you're going to do tomorrow, Cash?
No, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. As you know, Rosenberg has been outstanding for us, and being pushed into that role in the regionals and super regionals. And last night I pinched it a little bit earlier than maybe I should have. I probably should have waited one more round before I got him in there. But Grayson's a little bit rusty swinging the bat. But the good news is he can catch. As you saw last night, he's able to go back in there and do a good job. So I got to make a decision on who starts tomorrow.
One strategy question from last night, going back to that sequence. What was the thinking behind bunting with Ferguson, which led you to then pinch hitting for Dante?
I'm just trying to get a run. Just trying to get a run there. We're playing a different game in college baseball than many years ago, and runs are big. And anytime you can get one, Pancake has had a knack for coming up with a 2-out hit. He's done a good job the entire year doing that. And we've talked about it numerous times in the dugout. I've asked him, is he seeing it good? Does he feel like he's, zoning in pretty good at the plate? And if he tells me he is, and a lot of times I'll say, I may move this guy up, give you a chance to get a 2-out hit. So that was just the thinking, just try to get a run.
You had three really tough, hard-fought games with Arkansas in the regular season, and I know you're probably expecting another one. What does that say that you're seeing them again here? You come to a national tournament, you're still playing conference teams.
Well, I think that there's one thing that you go back to in the fall when we all get together in Birmingham for the SEC coaches meetings. We take a lot of pride in our conference, and I think that overall our conference coaches pull for each other, and I think we motivate each other, we inspire each other, everybody works hard, and I think we all feel like at the end of the year you're going to have 2, 3, 4 teams still playing, and maybe a couple or 3 getting to Omaha every single year. And it happened last year, and one year I was here, there were 4 teams from the SEC and 3 back this year. So, it's not something that we think is unusual. We think that's how good our conference is, and the Pac-12's got the 2 teams out here, and whether we get teams here or not, we always feel like we got caliber teams that can get here, and so here we are playing a conference foe.
Were you surprised that the 2 Cinderellas were manhandled in their initial games out here?
Well, I really was a little bit, and I don't know. I really didn't think it was a case of nerves so much as they just missed the strike zone a little bit early, and the other teams came up with some big hits. So they may bounce back though. You get a chance to play twice here before you go home, and so they may bounce back.
Colby seems like he's been good in these big moments. What is it about his attitude that kind of leads to that, I guess?
Well, I think the fact that he's comfortable now, that he's one of our top guys on the mound, and he's been around a little bit. He's gotten a little bit older, and he goes out and gives it his best effort. He competes, and he's very comfortable, as you saw here today. He's very relaxed, and he's going to go out there and give it all he's got, and that's all he can ask for.
Kane to DH tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if that'll be the case or not. It's sort of a day-by-day thing in our DH role, and go back to the numbers and a little meditation 5-6 hours before the game and try to come up with a reason to go with one guy or another. But certainly Payne came up big for us yesterday.
Matt had maybe his worst outing of the season in his appearance at Arkansas out there. What happened in that particular game? Well,
we had a big lead. I don't get to say that too much, but we had a 6 or 7 run lead when I brought him in, and he's not. That's no good for him. He's not interested in that. He needs to have his hair on fire when he goes in the game. But we send him in there and say, hey, just throw strikes, and they'll hit some atom balls, and we'll get out of here. And they didn't go at us. They found some holes, and he hung on to finish the game for us. But he doesn't get hit too many times like that. But he got hit hard out there.
How confident are you now in Tyler Webb? I think maybe what he gave you last night's been overlooked a little bit, but what do you think of what he gave you last night?
Well, it was big. I mean, the fact that that he got Tucker to fly out to left was huge, and of course then Johnson squared up a ball to right at Matthews that we ended up getting out of there. But Webb's been there for us the entire year. You look at his appearances and numbers. He's been outstanding in Oklahoma Super Regional. He was very, very stellar for us. He finished the game, got a big out in the other game for us. So he's been a guy we've counted on.
Do you think knowing a team so well matters much once you meet at this point? I mean, the fact that they know you up and down and vice versa.
I don't think so. I think it's much like the Florida game that Coach Van Horn kind of knows about our personnel and his coaches, and we feel like we know a lot about them, and so you get back to who can make a play and get a hit and make some pitches. I think it gets simplified. You don't get surprised a whole lot at this point. As I said a couple of days ago, when we're playing our conference foes this time of the year, I'm always sitting up there thinking, what can I do to be a little bit unorthodox? Even if I take a chance, you want to get outside of the box just a little bit at times, just try to create some offense. And we took off a little bit, ran some, tried to push a little bit yesterday, and we were able to get away with a couple bases here and there.
Coach, go ahead.
Can you just talk about the overall confidence you have in Price and what he's been able to do on this stage?
He's been incredible. I said this before. I don't know if there's been a college pitcher in the history of the game that has been put out there in as many clutch situations as he has. I mean, we don't put him out there to get any work. When he goes in there, the game's on the line most of the time. And I guess there's been a few instances where he hasn't been successful, but not too many. I mean, he's a guy that when you get out there, like last night when we got there to the 8th inning, we were able to start the 8th clean with 6 outs to go, only a 2-run lead at that point. You go, hey, this is the best you can do. We got our right guy out there, and if it doesn't happen, you did your very best. So you have to feel good about it. He's been really clutch for us.
Webb and Price would be available for you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I guess Webb only just threw 7 or 8 pitches. I think Price threw 40 or 41, but he'll be ready to go again.